During our live wedding vows, I looked into my wife's eyes, and watched her affair partner stand up in the crowd, holding a sign that read, "She was with me last night." When I turned to her, she whispered, "It's too late now." I dropped my vows, walked off the stage, and left her standing there as half the guests followed me out. I never thought I'd live through something like this. You see stories like mine on TV or on trashy YouTube channels and think, that can't be real. But I lived it. Every damn second of it. And it messed me up in ways I still don't think I've fully dealt with. My name's Clay. I'm 32. I live in Springfield, Missouri. I've always been a normal guy. I fix heating and cooling systems for a living. Nothing flashy. I've worked hard since I was 17, saved my money, never did anything shady. I never cared about being rich or popular. I just wanted to meet someone honest, build a life, and be happy. I thought I found that when I met Jenna. We met 4 years ago at a barbecue hosted by a mutual friend. She had this wild laugh, dark eyes, and a mouth that said exactly what was on her mind. I liked that about her. Most women I dated before her were guarded, always holding something back. Not Jenna. At least, not at first. She told me she liked how simple I was. Said I was solid, like a rock. She used to tease me for always checking price tags and turning off lights when I left a room. She said she felt safe with me. For 3 years, we lived together. We had a rhythm. We cooked dinner together, went to the gym twice a week, watched movies on the couch with takeout on Fridays. We argued sometimes, usually about stupid things like who forgot to do laundry, but nothing serious. She didn't cheat. She didn't lie. That's what I believed. When I proposed, I thought it was the happiest moment of her life. We were at the park, had a blanket down, some wine, nothing fancy. I got down on one knee and pulled out the ring. She didn't even let me finish my speech. She just said yes and started crying. That was a year before the wedding. A year of planning, spending, dreaming, talking about the future. I remember her sitting on the floor, flipping through bridal magazines, circling stuff with a marker, smiling like a kid. She told me she couldn't wait to be Mrs. Clay. She was lying the whole time. The wedding was scheduled for a Saturday in September. We rented a rustic-looking venue with a big garden and a wooden arch for the vows. It wasn't cheap, but I didn't care. I wanted it to be perfect. The morning of the wedding, I was nervous, but happy. My groomsmen were joking around, taking shots, fixing each other's ties. Roy, my best friend since high school, kept asking if I had cold feet. I laughed it off. I had no clue what was about to happen. The ceremony started at 4. Jenna walked down the aisle with her dad. She looked amazing. I'm not just saying that. Her hair was pinned up with little flowers in it, and she had this calm, glowing smile that made me feel like the luckiest guy in Missouri. The music faded. The officiant started doing his thing. Then it was time for my vows. I had them memorized. I looked into her eyes and started talking about how we met, how I never believed in fate until her, how I wanted to grow old with her. That's when I noticed movement in the crowd. A man stood up. One guy. Middle of the guest rows. I didn't recognize him right away, but I'd later learn his name was Matt. He was holding a sign. Big. White. Handwritten in black marker. She was with me last night. The world stopped. At first, I didn't get it. My brain just froze. Like I couldn't understand what I was reading. Then I looked back at Jenna. Her eyes changed. She stopped smiling. Her face dropped. But she didn't look shocked. She looked caught. She leaned in and whispered, "It's too late now." I dropped my vows. Didn't say a word. I turned around and walked off the stage. Half the guests followed me. I didn't check my phone for 2 days. I stayed at Roy's place, didn't eat much, barely talked. I felt like I'd been hit by a train. When I turned my phone back on, it lit up with texts, missed calls, voicemails. Jenna. Her mom. Friends. My cousin. People were losing their minds over what happened. Roy filled me in. Apparently, chaos broke out the moment I left. Jenna's mom fainted. Her cousin Lexi screamed at the guy with the sign. Some people started crying. Others just got up and left. A few stuck around and tried to figure out what the hell had just happened. Matt, the guy with the sign, posted about it online later that night. Said he didn't want to let her lie to another man. His post went viral. Pictures and video from the wedding started spreading. Before I could even wrap my head around what happened, the world knew. Everyone knew. I didn't talk to Jenna for a week. When I finally did, it was short. She didn't deny anything. Said she'd messed up. Claimed it just started a few months ago. Claimed she didn't plan for it to get serious. When I asked her why she went through with the wedding, she said she didn't know how to stop it. That it had gone too far. I hung up. That was the last time we had a full conversation. But I wasn't done. She embarrassed me in front of 130 people. She lied to me for months. She used me like a prop in her perfect little wedding fantasy while screwing some guy she worked with. And then tried to act like it was some mistake. So I started planning my response. I wasn't going to scream or beg. I was going to make sure the truth hit her like a truck, again and again. I started with her family. Jenna always said her dad was strict, but supportive. He'd helped us with the wedding bill and promised to give us a down payment for a house after we were married. I called him. Told him everything. At first, he thought I was exaggerating. Then I sent him the photos. The Reddit post. The video one of the guests took. After that, he didn't ask any more questions. He told me, that money's gone. She's on her own now. Then he apologized to me. Next, I handled the money. We had a shared wedding account. I'd put in most of it, around $12,000. She added a few thousand. The moment the wedding fell apart, I drained what was mine. I also pulled back deposits on the hotel, rental gear, catering, everything that was in my name. She didn't like that. Said I left her with nothing. I sent her a message with an invoice. Itemized. Clear. She owed me $6,800. She laughed at first. Then I filed in small claims court. She lost. But the biggest blow was still coming. She had a job interview lined up for a nonprofit organization in town. Big opportunity. She used me as her fiancé reference on her paperwork. I got the call. They asked how long we'd been together. I paused, then asked if they'd seen the wedding photos. They hadn't. So I told them to Google her name. 10 minutes later, they called back and told me they were rescinding the offer. She didn't just lose a wedding. She lost her job. Her family. Her reputation. All by her own hand. I'm not done telling this story yet. There's more, things she tried to do after. People who picked sides. More fallout I didn't expect. But this part? This was the start of her unraveling. And I was there to watch every stitch come loose. After the job offer fell through, I figured Jenna would lay low. Maybe disappear for a while, move back in with her mom, try to rebuild her life. But I was wrong. She got mean. Real mean. 2 weeks after the wedding, I started getting calls from numbers I didn't know. At first, I ignored them. Then voicemails started showing up. Angry ones. From women I'd never even met. One said, "You're a liar and a piece of shit. I hope you rot." Another, "You cheated on Jenna first, didn't you? You're disgusting." Turns out Jenna was telling people I was the cheater. That I pushed her away, that I was emotionally cold and controlling. She even told some people I hit her. I never laid a hand on her. But people believed her. Not everyone, but enough. Friends I'd known for years started ghosting me. One of Jenna's old college friends, Erica, texted me and said, "I always knew something was off about you." I asked what she meant. She sent back a screenshot Jenna had posted in a private Facebook group. It said, "I never wanted to cheat, but Clay was never there for me emotionally. He used to go days without even talking to me when he was working. I was depressed. He made me feel invisible. That night before the wedding, I just broke. I needed to feel loved." That post got over 400 likes. Dozens of comments like, "You're so strong," and "He didn't deserve you." I felt like I was going insane. She blew up my life and somehow still played the victim. So I fought back. I messaged the admin of that Facebook group. A woman named Dana. I asked her if I could send over some screenshots and videos to clear the air. She agreed. I sent her the Reddit post. The photo of Matt holding the sign. The clip someone took of Jenna whispering, "It's too late now." The court papers showing she owed me money. Dana messaged back 5 minutes later. "I had no idea. She made it sound like you were a monster." She removed Jenna's post. Then she made her own, with every screenshot I gave her. That post? It got over 2,000 likes. A few of Jenna's defenders tried to argue in the comments. But the truth was too loud to ignore. Jenna tried texting me again. Said I was ruining her life. Said I was going too far. I ignored it. But she didn't stop. She came to my apartment. Middle of the night. Banging on my door, crying. Yelling through the hallway that she needed closure. My upstairs neighbor called the cops. She left before they showed up. I got a restraining order the next day. Here's where it got weird. About a month later, I got a DM on Instagram. It was from Matt. Yeah. That Matt. "Hey man. Can we talk?" At first, I didn't reply. I figured it was a trap or something. But curiosity got the better of me. So I said, "What the hell do you want?" He said he was sorry. Said he didn't know Jenna was actually going to go through with the wedding. He thought she had ended things with me months earlier. He said, she told me she was just waiting for the right time to break it off. I asked him why he showed up with the sign. He told me Jenna promised she'd call the wedding off and be with him. When she didn't, he lost it. She lied to both of us, he wrote. I believed him. I didn't forgive him. But I believed him. He sent me screenshots of messages she'd sent him the night before the wedding. One of them said, "Tomorrow changes everything. Just let me get through it." Another said, "After the vows, it's done. I'll leave with you if I have to." She was planning to marry me and run off with him in the same weekend. But when she saw all the guests and decorations, she changed her mind. She figured I'd go through with it. That I'd forgive her eventually. That she could have both lives. That's when I realized the truth. It wasn't just about the cheating. It was about control. Jenna needed people to need her. She wanted me standing up there, promising her forever, while her affair partner sat 10 rows back, watching her claim a second life. She wanted the attention. The power. The story. She didn't care who she hurt as long as she stayed the center of it. There was more fallout after that. More people choosing sides. More secrets unraveling. But this was the moment I saw her clearly. Not as the woman I almost married, but as someone who was never who she pretended to be. I had to keep going. Had to make sure she never did this to anyone else again. Had to finish what she started. Because she thought it was over when I walked away from the altar. But it was just beginning. After my talk with Matt, I thought the worst was behind me. I figured the damage was done, that Jenna had lost enough already. I didn't care about getting even anymore. I just wanted to move on. But then I found out Jenna was suing me. Yeah. Suing me. I came home one evening after a long day of work, my hands still smelled like coolant, and there was a letter taped to my door. Not even in the mailbox. Right on the damn door. It was a legal notice. She was taking me to small claims court. Again. This time, she claimed I had defamed her, ruined her ability to find work, and caused emotional distress. She wanted $10,000. At first, I laughed. Out loud. Alone in my living room. But then I realized this wasn't just another dramatic outburst. She had hired a lawyer. Not a great one, but enough to file the paperwork and make my life more stressful. She was trying to flip the narrative. Make me look like a bitter, vengeful ex who couldn't handle a breakup. And if that lie stuck, it wouldn't just cost me money, it could destroy my reputation for good. So I got a lawyer too. And I started digging deeper. I remembered something Matt told me, about how Jenna lied to him too. Made promises. Manipulated. Used people. So I called him again. He agreed to write a statement. He even offered to testify. Turns out, Matt wasn't the only one she'd done this to. Through him, I got in touch with another guy, Eli. A quiet, awkward dude who dated Jenna in college. Eli told me Jenna ghosted him after they'd been dating for a year. Just disappeared. Then 6 months later, she showed up at his workplace claiming he owed her money for emotional trauma. She tried to get him fired. Told his boss he was unstable. He had to block her on everything. When I asked why she did it, he just said, she wanted to see how far she could push me. He agreed to send a statement too. Now I had a pattern. The court date came. She showed up with her lawyer, dressed like she was heading to a funeral, black dress, somber look, fake tears already loaded up. Her lawyer talked for 10 minutes straight. Said I embarrassed her online. Said I encouraged mass harassment on social media. Said I used private information to humiliate her. Then it was my turn. My lawyer stood up and said, "We'd like to submit several statements into the record." She handed the judge printed copies of Matt's messages, Eli's story, the original viral post, screenshots of Jenna bragging in group chats before the wedding, stuff I didn't even know existed until I dug deeper. And then, the kicker, a clip from the venue's security cam. Not the ceremony, but the back hallway the night before. It showed Jenna sneaking Matt into the building around 11:30 p.m. She was laughing. He was carrying a six-pack. They went into a back room. They didn't come out for over an hour. The judge looked at Jenna and asked, "Do you deny that this is you in the video?" She didn't answer. She just sat there, dead silent, her face white as a sheet. The case was dismissed on the spot. But the damage? That was still spreading. A week after the trial, I got a call from her old employer. Not the new job she lost, but the job she had while she was cheating on me. A guy in HR asked if I'd be willing to speak to their internal review board. Apparently, someone had submitted an anonymous complaint about her. Not for cheating. For something worse. Falsifying hours. Manipulating internal records. Stealing petty cash. At first, I didn't know anything about that. But then I remembered something Matt told me, how she used to complain about being underpaid and taking what she deserved. I didn't want to get involved. But they said they were investigating multiple reports, and Jenna was being audited. Turns out, she'd used her company card for some of our wedding expenses. Florist deposits. A dress fitting. Even the damn cake. Under her ex-boss's name. She was fired within a week. Not quietly, either. They sent out a company-wide memo. She tried to lie about that too, but I got a copy. She didn't just lose her wedding and a job offer. She lost her career. But it didn't stop her. She started dating again. And not just anyone. She went after my cousin. Jason. The same cousin who helped us move furniture into our apartment 2 years ago. I hadn't spoken to Jason in a while. He's younger, kind of flaky, but when I found out, I drove to his place and confronted him. "You seriously dating her?" I asked. He shrugged. "She said you were over it. Said you moved on. She told you that?" He nodded. "Said you cheated first. That you hit her. That you left her at the altar because you were scared." I just stared at him. Then I pulled out my phone and showed him everything. The sign. The Reddit post. The court records. The video footage. He didn't say anything for a full minute. Then he just sat down and put his head in his hands. "Jesus," he whispered. "She's fucking insane." He broke up with her that night. And that's where things are now. She's alone. Fired. Broke. Blocked by most of her own family. And I haven't even told you what I'm planning next. Because she's still playing games behind the scenes. Still lying to people. Still trying to crawl out from under the truth. And I'm not done. Not yet. I said I wasn't done. And I meant it. Even after all the lies, the fake lawsuit, the job firings, the cousin drama, Jenna still found ways to worm back into people's lives. She still had a handful of loyal defenders online. Still messaged people from fake accounts. Still tried to post twisted versions of the story. But the final straw, the one that made me plan what came next, was when she reached out to my mom. Yeah. She showed up at my mom's church one Sunday morning. Dressed all conservative, with this fake shy expression. She stood outside after the service and waited until my mom came out. Said she just wanted to clear the air. Told my mother I'd been emotionally abusive. That I'd turned violent the week before the wedding. That she was scared of me. My mom didn't say anything to her. She just nodded and walked away. Then she called me, her voice shaking. That was it. I'd stayed quiet long enough. I wanted to make sure that wherever Jenna went next, the truth followed her. So I did something she never expected. I told the full story, my side, for the first time. Publicly. I made a YouTube video. Simple. Just me, sitting at my kitchen table, looking into the camera. I started from the beginning. The proposal. The affair. The wedding. The sign. The fallout. I added photos, video clips, court documents, even the security cam footage from the night she brought Matt into the venue. I blurred names and faces where I needed to, kept it legal, but I told it all. I didn't yell. I didn't act like a victim. I just told the truth. Then I uploaded it. Didn't expect much. By the next day, it had 40,000 views. By the end of the week, 1.2 million. It exploded. People started digging through her old accounts. Found the fake profiles. Found the Facebook group post. People put the pieces together themselves. And when I say she got exposed, I mean scorched earth. She lost every freelance gig she was picking up. Old friends cut her off publicly, some even made statements saying she manipulated them, too. A woman from Jenna's past, a girl she bullied in high school, posted a whole thread with screenshots of Jenna mocking her weight and threatening to ruin her scholarship. Everything she ever buried came back up. And then? She disappeared. Deleted all her accounts. Moved out of state, from what I heard. Some said she went to Arizona. Others said California. But I didn't care anymore. Because the last message I got from her, before she vanished, was this: "You win. Are you happy now?" I didn't reply. Because it wasn't about winning. It was about truth. About showing everyone who she really was. Now, I'm not gonna pretend I'm perfect. I stayed quiet when I should have spoken up. I let things slide that I should have caught. Maybe I was too proud to see the cracks early on. Maybe I ignored the signs because I was so damn set on getting married, starting a family, proving I wasn't like my dad, who walked out on us. But I learned something. Sometimes walking away isn't enough. Sometimes, you have to stand in the wreckage and say, "I'm not hiding anymore." Sometimes, the best revenge is making sure the world sees the mask fall off, for good. It's been a year since the wedding. I'm doing better. Not perfect. But better. I met someone new, actually. Slow pace. No pressure. She knows the whole story. I told her everything. And for once, someone didn't flinch when they heard it. She just said, "You've been through hell. But you walked out." I guess I did. As for Jenna, I doubt I'll ever hear from her again. But if she ever tries to start over, tell a new version of events, write another lie, there's a million people out there who already know the truth. And that truth will never go away.